Say what? Look.
It's the new OGs. The new OGs is a State and Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Look, Illinois is changing how people get their electricity, and Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. If you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, and you can do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money. Solar Masters is a black-owned company and a SunPower dealer, an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience, and they even have a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So head over to www.gosolarmasters.com. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right here.
I'm right next to you, Bobby. I don't know why I'm screaming.
I am right next to you.
I'm excited because I'm right next to you, Bobby, so I don't know if I heard you right.
Okay, let's make sure we get it.
I want to make sure you didn't change anything from when we were miles apart all this time. So real quick, you just told these people
Welcome
that
back
they
to the
could
studio.
save money, that they can save money every single month on the electric bill that they got to pay anyway.
Right, they can save money on that electric bill even though they got to pay it anyway.
They could do something to help the environment, which is in dire need of our help.
It does need some help. They could use some help.
And if they refer somebody who does this and that person goes to it and gets solar, they get $500 every single time.
They can get $500 every time they refer somebody who goes solar.
Man, that's almost as good as being able to dap you in person. What's up, dude?
It is great to be able to dap each other in person. And you know, you can get vaccinated for free, but if you want to actually make some money on top of that so you can go out and enjoy yourself when you go dap people up in public, go to www.gosolarmasters.com and try and get in contact for a free consultation or to refer somebody you know. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy. That is a network that we are on. The reason why you're getting to see us in this manner with this great setup we've got right now is because of Jameis Webb, the man behind People of Comedy. Get over to People of Comedy on Facebook. Check out all the great shows they've got there. Go there daily. They got new shit all the time. There's always crazy stuff going on. They're filming everybody out places. If you're a Chicago comic and you need to have your work filmed somewhere, you need a clip, get in touch with People of Comedy and do that. And go find them wherever you listen to pods. What's going on, everybody? We got a crazy setup. We started super late today. I don't even know what's going on here. We are just we are in it right now. This is fun.
Man, life is back to like full blown fucking life, man.
Because
I left at what I thought was a good enough time. Like, I know you just said, no, that's not. But I wasn't I didn't realize it was like a full-blown regular-ass Friday,
It's not a good enough time. You know?
This, like, I left with almost an hour and 25 minutes on what is normally like a 45 to 50-minute drive.
Right.
So I thought I had enough time, and I was clearly, like, way off. So that's on me. I'm not going to put that on anybody else. That's 100% on the fat man. But although I will say this, I kicked the goddamn navigation time's ass. Because when I told you 4:15, I was lying. It said 4:25.
There's some OG shit right there.
No, but I had to do like some slick shit. Like Kingery has like one of those exits that you don't have to actually get off the exit. You could just ride in like alongside traffic,
right,
and like go past a whole bunch of trucks and shit. Like I got like 5 minutes off that motherfucker. I got like 5 minutes off that motherfucker today.
The most inside baseball shit that we're gonna discuss.
Oh yeah,
today
no, if you're not outside of Chicagoland, you have no idea.
Road to the frontage road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, I pulled some of that shit, and I went against. I did something that I sometimes I beat the navigation, sometimes the navigation beats me. Today the navigation beat me. It tried to get me to go a completely different way than I went, and I overrode it because I thought it was on some dumb shit, and it was not.
On some real OG shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Totally not paying attention. I'm better than this computer that does nothing but trying to see. My whole thing is I am constantly
I
like,
beat it before though.
But see, my deal is I'm constantly pulling up. You know how they have that one thing on the maps where you can press a button, it'll give you like the bird's eye view. Yeah. It'll be showing you faster routes, but not offering them to you, which I think is the dumbest shit ever. Google, if you're listening, here's what don't ask me if I want to take the faster route.
I don't know why you asked?
Right? Right, Google, I know you're listening, okay? Like, you don't have to ask me if I want to take a faster route. I want to take it. There's no version of me that's like, no, I want to go slowly. Like, I always want don't ask, don't eat. Like, I'll pull back and I'll be like, this route is 7 minutes faster. You didn't even tell me about it. I'd have just gone on about my long head.
What if you're getting roadhead?
don't care. I don't get in the car. Like, that just means we quicker to wherever the fuck whatever happens next is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, which may just be dropping somebody off, right? Like that may be trying to get to that part quickly too, right?
Ain't
like,
nothing wrong with finishing in the driveway.
Sometimes you got to get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been topped off in the parking lot before. I understand.
My my big thing for the week for sure was my realization that the nutrition experts were right, and that drinking water is actually a good idea. I finally, like, over the last week, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to try. Like, I looked at I was looking at some different nutrition and dieting shit, and, like, I was getting this consistent thing where you're supposed to drink 115 whatever ounces of water every day. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to see, like, if I can do nothing else, can I get to this? Is it even a pain in the ass? I hate water. I will drink carbonated dirt before I would drink water normally. You know what I mean? Like, if you carbonate soap, I would wash my mouth out with that instead of drinking water most of the time. That's how much I don't like drinking water. But like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. So I started doing the shit. I lost like 4 pounds in 3 days. I didn't change anything. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change my sleep. Nothing else changed except I had time to do nothing else but drink water and then pee that water out. That's my entire existence.
The weirdest thing about this is you are health conscious at a level. You probably are the most, as far as what you put into your body. You consider what you put into your body more than anybody else I know. So it's so fucking weird that the water thing was the last thing you came to. Like, out of all the other shit, you know, out of all the other toxins that you've chosen, you learn how to bake. You learn how to bake sweet shit out of non-sweet shit.
Just avocados.
Yeah. Nigga, you made avocados sweet, but you couldn't figure out water until now. That shit is so fucking crazy to me.
The problem is I don't like it. That's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I can make water taste, but see, the problem is, like, you can't make water even taste like anything else, and it still works, right? Like, carbonate water, nope, can't do that. That doesn't really count. Like, doctors are just like, nah, it don't really count. You just gotta drink regular ass old flat water.
Yeah, that's not what they told me. Shit, like, I've been drinking the hell out of this shit. It ain't really. Nah. Well, I'll tell you this: it's got to be better than the shit I was drinking before.
But like, it's not something I wanted. I wanted it to be one of those, because there's a lot of different shit out there. Like, well, they say that shit, but you can fucking you know what I mean? You beat that shit. And like, I assume that like exercise and like eating a proper way would get me there, while I still drank like mostly like coffee and Diet Coke.
So I just wanted you to know that, brother, I love you, and I'm happy for your success. That water turned your world around. You lost 4 pounds, hooray! But I also want to say fuck you real quick, because I want to tell you like how much of the opposite of him I am. Like, for the last 4 years, since 2017, I think, I've been slowly every like year or 6 months, I try to remove something from my diet that I knew. Like, I wanted to lose weight. I'm on my mission to be less fat. And I stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped drinking soda. Like, I know all skinny people, like, I stopped drinking soda. I lost 10 pounds in 3 months. Like, I stopped drinking soda, gained weight. I stopped drinking water, gained weight. I mean, I drink a lot of water, I drink a lot of water, stopped drinking soda, juice, and all that stuff. Just drink water, gain weight. I cut out red meat, got fatter. Yeah,
but see, the problem is you don't do none of the shit together. You just
I am. No. That's what I'm telling you. I cut out
red meat, got back on the donuts. I cut out the water.
That was a problem. I think my water was donuts. That's what I'm getting to. Is that I didn't want to admit. I was like, I did all this other shit. I was trying to cut out like all the fringe sugary shit. Like, I got rid of the sugary drinks. Right. I could still have donuts. No, I got rid of the red meat. I got rid of all the extra carbs and shit, so I could like still have. No, you just had to cut out the donuts. But I did doing the what's your face? What am I gonna call it? The fasting, the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Has helped me a fuck ton. Like, once, and now it's time to like go to the next thing and actually start moving my ass.
That has largely been the overwhelming thing when it comes to weight loss right now. that I've seen being predominant is like intermittent fasting. Like intermittent fasting is it's like keto was the thing, but now it's just like, nah, man, you just got to starve yourself for half the day and then just do that forever. Okay. And then like, you know, or you could do some shit we eat normally and then 2 days you just get to suck your own dick if you want to try.
So here's a crazy thing. My intermittent fasting had nothing to do with like the whole trend shit. It's 100% coincidence that it's the trend right now. I used to fast a fuck ton. I was raised Muslim. I used to fast a ton. That was a regular thing for me. And so whenever I get serious about trying to lose weight, I usually try to reincorporate fasting as part of it. And my goal initially was going to be to fast entire days. But I said, no, let me be realistic. How about I just like fast for like 16 hours a day? And I literally just picked that number randomly too. That's literally what you're.
Even though that's like the
after
one.
People,
like
after you
16,
after you got all excited when or you started talking about it, and I was like, oh shit, he's doing this. And then after I started looking it up, and I was like, wow, I literally picked 16 hours a day because I was like, that makes sense. I'll start eating at noon. I won't eat after 8. I'll just eat in that window. And I swear to God, I didn't look up anything or something. It was just stuff that I used to do before. And I found out that's literally like the diet craze everybody's doing.
Yeah, that's the shit everybody's doing right now. Rob, what's going on with you, man? It's good to see you. We've got you in a portal, which is neat. This is with some of us in the studio and some of us not. I think this is how it's going right now. This is the new move, right? This is
I'm trying to get there and be in the studio. I'll be there at the end of the month or something like that.
That's what's up.
My OG moment just happened. I had another OG moment all ready to go, and I was sitting here enjoying your conversation, and I just realized, like, wow, Xavier has decided to be on both sides of a coin. And then he was raised Muslim. Like, oh my goodness, he's gonna have to kick his own ass. You gotta find a way to hate yourself other than doing comedy. So that was my OG moment.
That's hilarious that you, as long as we've known each other, that's the first time you realize that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, damn, I've been knew this. I don't know why.
Yeah. It never got you.
I used to do like my first. I think my very first set was about it. My first material was that. Yeah. That's what it was about.
You got to try and establish yourself for people, so they got some idea of your point of view, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
So he had to get on everybody's side. Like
I said,
another OG moment was I realized I was experiencing life through you guys' eyes when I was trying to help somebody with their computer today. I was like, wow. And then I realized, like, well, as long as I keep doing this, I get better at it, and I need less help. So I was impressed. I was both impressed because I knew why it wasn't working, and I knew how to fix it. And so I was like, wow, this is amazing. I know stuff now. Now I see how patient they have been with me.
So here's something wild, man. I just read a study recently that said there had long since been this idea that as you get older, the ability to build new neural pathways and like learn new process stuff was diminished or gone. And actually, it's not true. The fact that we stop, like out of just stubbornness of routine. We stop learning new things because people don't want to is why that was. But I think that's
we're just assholes.
We're just assholes. We're stubborn assholes.
It's like, nah, fuck learning.
I think that's changing because like our generation, specifically people in our age group, we've had to learn a new technology like every 5 years for the last 40 fucking years.
This is the rebellion of the podcast. This is the entire rebellion. Yeah. This is the entire point of the rebellion of this podcast is like we're getting older, but we're not trying to be doing old people shit. Right?
Yeah, like, I think we're like the first generation. Like our parents, our parents didn't have to learn any of that shit. Our parents relied on us to learn that shit, and then the shit kept changing so much that we learned it. I'm learning it with my kid. My kid is better at it than I am, but I'm not completely.
You're functional.
Yeah, I'm not completely behind him, and I feel like I'm going to continue to be functional because I've constantly had to adapt.
It's
and
like
change.
You know what it is. It's
whereas
like,
my mom never had to deal with that shit. My dad kind of did because he was a teacher, but not nearly as much.
Yeah, my mom with the same thing as being a teacher. That's why we always had computers in our house. But the personal computer really is what shifted that focus. But it's just like when I look at my kid and myself in terms of like our ability to manipulate our social media, right? Like creating a video or doing something like that. Like it really is. It's just like when I go to play Fortnite, there are dudes, they're probably 12, who the fuck knows, but they can build way fucking better than I can, right? Like they be out there putting up shit, and I'm just like trying to barely like manipulate some shit. And that, but like I'm still functional. I still win sometimes. I just, you know what I mean? Like I still shoot a motherfucker, like shoot your little ass and send you back to the lobby. You know what I mean? Like that's it. But
I'm still an American.
No, it's like you can still be functional and not just give up on the thing entirely, right? Like, and that's the thing, that we are the first generation of that. It is crazy when you see somebody give up on something entirely. There was another shooting in San Jose, 57-year-old Sam Cassidy, which that does not sound like an immigrant. Shot a number of people at the VTA, which was their transit authority there. Here's what's crazy about where we are with these shootings is that it's been a couple of days since this has happened, and we're already way more invested in other shit.
Yeah,
these were all grown people. The dude shot himself in front of deputies, so there's no trial to be had. You know what I mean? San Jose is in deep mourning, I'm sure. But like as far as the national world and like the idea that we're going to see anything happen because of it, like it's not even a conversation anymore.
Yeah,
Not only did we get used to it, but it seems in a more efficient way to be finished. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Not only have we gotten used to it, we just like, hey, you know what? Dude took care of himself, it's over with. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
The thing that's probably the craziest about it is it's become so normal that, like, as soon as I see a city, like if I see a U.S. city just pop up on Twitter randomly,
shit, here we go.
And it's not like a sport, especially if it's a city that doesn't have a pro team. You know, I'm not even. It's fun. I am making a joke about it. It is what it is. Like, right away. Like when I saw San Jose, I'm like, the Sharks in the NHL playoffs.
It's like when you see an old person pop up in the Twitter feed. You're just does this mean death or is it their birthday? It's either their birthday or is it
like millions of other people on Twitter. I hate every time Betty White trends.
Right? Yeah.
Every time Betty White trends, I'm like, God damn it, not today.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it's another horrible situation that there's not a lot to do anything about, and like, considering the type of considering how much the assumption in this country is that people of color are the major instigators of a ton of the violence that goes on, the fact that consistently when we're looking at these types of incidents, it is something that should be kept in mind. And then it just pours over into other things which create the same type of issues. We're at the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's murder. That happened this past week. There are people that are still arguing against that. There's a large population of people that still aren't really understanding, like, what actually happened there in the situation. So because we're 1 year later, and it's a time to look back at what that created, right? Like that created. It's interesting because a year ago we were talking about Ahmaud Arbery, just before George Floyd happened. It was like because that happened in like March, and it was like a month it's like a month later, and we're like, hey, this thing happened down in Georgia. This was crazy. We didn't even see it. Didn't pop up any radar. I think you had seen it, and you sent it like a message.
That's exactly. I remember talking about it and us kind of both like kind of educating ourselves on that really quickly, and then this happened, which I can't remember what day it wasn't. Was that a show? Did George Floyd happen on a Friday?
I don't remember. It may have been like the Thursday before.
I believe the first protests were on a Friday.
The first protests were on a Friday.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like that we had a show like right around in the middle when some crazy shit was happening with that. But
it was like right as it was popping off. I mean, it was, and so we're a year later. Rob, what is your? I mean, I can guess, but where are your feelings on? Because since then we've had situations where no charges in the Andrew Brown Jr. murder in North Carolina. There's this Ronald Green murder in Louisiana where like films coming out 2 years after the fact, they said this dude died
in a
car accident.
Yeah, in a car accident.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was insane, man.
So where do you think we are on this, Rob?
I think. I mean, I don't.
To anybody who's watching the podcast, if somehow you came to this podcast for the first time and you feel like you think we're attacking cops and stuff, to anybody who talks about good cops, I say this: how come the police report and the video footage never fucking match? Like ever.
It don't.
How come they never fucking match? Like if there are so many fucking good cops, if there's so many good cops, how come the shit that they say happened and the video that shows what happened are always completely fucking different?
I thought we discussed this.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason.
The report writing is a class, man. It's report writing is a class. And you would think the class would be to make it formatted in a way that would work in a legal setting.
Right.
And an overview of it would say that. But really what they teaching you how to do is how to lie after you fuck somebody up. Okay? That's what it is. You lie after you fuck somebody up. And so, but this one was so funny about, they're like, you got to give the effort, my brothers. You have to, I'm going to give you some police work 101. You have to give the effort to make it at least look like it is possibly feasible that the bullshit you saying is happening has happened.
Right. You have to make something arguable.
If you leave the fucking prongs in the back of the victim that you have electrocuted for as long as you have electrocuted him. You got to at least take them things out his back.
If you're going to say it was a car accident.
That is like, to anyone, and I'm talking because I am arrogant enough to believe that we might get some new viewers every now and then. Some people who might not know what we all about. To anybody says, why Black
Somebody
Lives
will watch
matter?
it at some point. Yeah. Maybe after I'm dead or something.
Yeah. Why Black Lives Matters? Because these motherfuckers cared so little about that man's life that not only did they lie about how he died, but they had the audacity to not even try to cover it up.
Right.
Because they didn't think anybody would give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because they didn't think it would matter.
That's what
happened to George Floyd.
Yeah, that's what happened to George Floyd. That's what happened to Andre Brown Jr. I mean, you can go down the list of names, right? And the thing is, like, there's never, because there is so rarely any type of consequences from that. It does, like, the fact that there's always this push to, like, we got to move on. Yeah. We got to move forward together. We got to move forward because then but like, we're also at the anniversary of the Tulsa bombing, right? Like we're also at the anniversary of Black Wall Street being bombed. Yeah. Right? Like,
so here's the thing. This is like, people talk about like what the difference between black and white people, we're all the same. Here's a place where we're different. Is that white people
dance like this.
Money. That was a money shot right there.
Get out of my studio right now.
That was a walk off the motherfucking court shot right there. No, like, white people do not like the past that talks about what happened, what they did, and what they do, and how they got to where they're at, because it discolors the narrative of their greatness.
Give away the secrets.
Yeah, it discolors the narrative of their greatness, or I should say, some white people, a lot of a significant percentage of the Republican Party specifically, refute. Don't
the institution therein. The institution of America is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
the best way to stop the police from messing up is start taking their money, right? Start attacking the police pension fund. Stop giving them the city's money. Give them their money, and not and as a group. Don't just take from one dude. Tax the whole damn fund, and I bet you people stop dying.
Yeah, hey, I bet you motherfuckers stop dying instantly. You're right. That is a genius fucking approach. I don't know if it can legally be done because those pension funds are typically. I mean, I take that back. Fuck that. I just realized they figure out a way to rob the motherfuckers when they take them over privately. When they switch them over private, they figure out a way to rob the motherfuckers in. They can figure out a way to rob it for this shit.
Well, there is some efforts at police reform that are going on. There's actually some bipartisan work being done by Cory Booker and Tim Scott. You may know Tim Scott from the
being the black guy in the Republican Party. Yeah,
being the one black senator,
pew, 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 shooting back, nigga.
also from the Fat Albert sitcom. You may remember from that as well. The only two things that Tim Scott has done that have been meaningful at this point. Nothing's final in the bill. They resolved to ban chokeholds and carotid holds, which, hey, what a great idea. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna ban holds on the carotid artery. That's probably a good thing. They're going to address the problem of police responding to reports of mental health crises, create federal standards for no-knock warrants, limit the transfer of military equipment to police departments, and start a federal database to track police use of force, which, they do that in the Catholic Church, and they're still not kicking everybody out of there. So I don't know how that's going to go. But it is I am a defund to abolish fan when it comes to police. And the thing is like the thing that people mistake when you talk about defund the police is like, it's not that I don't believe there shouldn't be some version of police, just not the one we have, right? Like it's just like, I don't think the version of the Flash and the CW is the best one. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine, but like, I'm not happy with it most of the time, which is how I feel about the police. Like, yeah, sure, if you want to watch some of that shit, that's what you got to go watch. Like, if you want to see the Flash, you got to watch CW. That's where and if you need some help because your bike got stolen, well, those are the motherfuckers you got to call, right? That's the shit you got to do. Or you just got to be like, fuck it, I lost, right? Those are the only two options you got. And
or you get, never mind.
But that doesn't mean it's good. You know what I mean? Like the Flash or the police. It doesn't mean they're great. It's just a thing.
I can't imagine a situation that I would call the police to help me.
No.
Honestly, I can't think of a thing that, like, if somebody was attacking my house.
Only by insurance requirements. That's the only time.
Exactly. That's exactly
if
it.
the
That's
insurance goes, you have to file a police report. It's like, all right, cool. Well, I'll do it just to do that. But like, there's no part of me that thinks like a crime would happen and then like they'd be on the case.
No, I wouldn't do it for that reason. The reason I would do it, I would call the police every time I felt like it. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna do it. Because I'm about to kill somebody. And so if I tell you, hey man, this dude been bothering me and you ain't did shit, when I kill him, I can go home afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So the real
wait a minute. You are not allowed to say my line. Because what the fuck are you talking about? You believe they gonna let you go home after you done killed a white person?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I worked for them and I documented the way they document. And what you do is you make a long ass list of, man, I kept trying to get y'all to fix this shit. You dig? And if you can do that, especially with my background as being one of them motherfuckers, they'll be like, oh, we gotta let this nigga go because he done did everything he know he's supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna work the system. Now, if it don't work, then that's one more thing we can chalk up to the bullshit. But what I'm telling you is, that's the reason to call the police. It ain't no reason that you think they're gonna do anything. You just want to document for when you fuck somebody up, there's a paper trail.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Let me rephrase that. I can't think of a reason I would call the police to come to my house to help me. But for that purpose, hey, this nigga keep fucking with me. I just want to let y'all know.
I'm just giving you a heads up that when you find his brain splattered, obviously stop by my crib. I'm gonna be.
Hey man, it was a dude out front threatening me the other night, a couple nights ago. It was a dude out front threatening me, and I called the police. I was like, hey, if y'all don't come here, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. And the lady goes, do you know we recording it? I was like, I hope so. So when I fuck him up, you understand the situation. I called y'all. And then, because before that, the police never came if I called them. I only called police 1 or 2 times. Right. And that was when it was an old drunk lady, like a crazy lady. We got homeless people everywhere. And she was beating on our window talking about she had bought this apartment when she got her first hysterectomy. I didn't know they came multiple packs, but
because what's anyone after the first one for?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you. There's nothing to hysterect.
So they never come.
Ain't no nothing to hysterect after the first one.
I guarantee you, when I threatened somebody, they showed up.
That's not one you can undo, right?
Well, you got more standards than the Republicans in the Senate. They, I'll be honest, man. I've got some real concerns about 2022. The election happened, and it seems like there are places that are making a concerted effort to kind of make it so that even if a Democrat wins in certain places, they could still lose. And you're seeing a flex of power right now. The vote on a nonpartisan, non-connected commission to find out what happened on January 6th, lost in the Senate today. I think they had 3 Republican senators or something that
here's a crazy.
They needed 10 because obviously Joe Manchin is a fucking weak piece of shit.
Here's a crazy thing. There's 11 senators that didn't vote on it. So what is 60% of 89? I should know this, but my brain is mush now. Nobody.
53.4.
53. Yeah. Oh God, they needed one more. They needed one more fucking senator for that to pass.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like the bullshit is, and this is the thing is like this is what Mitch McConnell did to Obama when he won. He figured out that if you could filibuster, like the filibuster is the way to keep it for the minority party to keep shit off the floor.
So here's the thing. I know the vice president is the president of the Senate, and they have traditionally only voted to settle a tie. However, that's one of those things you know how Trump did a bunch of shit that like technically it wasn't illegal because it wasn't specifically said that he couldn't do the shit. He constitutionally didn't say he couldn't do the shit.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, the president of the Senate is a voting member of the Senate.
But see, this is the difficulty.
They've only done that.
This is the difficulty. The difficulty is the way that Democrats operate is they try to position themselves as the party of the people who go by the book. The problem with the Republicans is that they're cheaters, and you guys shouldn't be down with cheaters because they're underhanded and they do all this duplicitous shit and they talk about morals, but they don't have morals and all that, and they push that thing. And what Republicans do is they wait until any Democrat steps out of line and they flip that same shit back on them. Well, how can you claim to be the pious ones when you got this guy who fucking sent a picture of his dick to somebody? How can you claim to be the pious ones when you got this lady who's eating babies and drinking adrenochrome? How can you guys be the like that is their whole gimmick. Their whole gimmick is to literally that childhood game of like whatever you say sticks to you like glue or whatever the fuck it is.
Like that's your glue. That's
that whole shit.
Bobby
like,
didn't have friends.
Like Republicans I just got old.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
I turned 40 on Monday.
Oh,
so I'm
hey man, we gotta get like a sound loop of just us singing OG moment.
But that's the game plan. And that's the reason why Democrats can't step out of line, because the only thing that Carlson and Hannity would talk about is how these pious Democrats fucked with the rules. They call us the bad guys for fucking with the rules. But as you can see, everybody just fucks with the rules. So let's just keep fucking with the rules. That's their whole gimmick.
You are right.
That's their whole. Right. They don't even care about being right. But, in fact, they fuck up the rules on purpose so that when the pious people finally fuck up, they can be like, see, you fuck up, we fuck up. Doesn't matter. We're the same. And it's like, but we just like killing black people.
I don't know if it's my weed or if it's the effect of the voice that you're doing, but you look like a Rick and Morty character in the monitor.
Cool. I feel like I'm scaring everyone at home right now.
No, that's hilarious. That's just hilarious, man.
Which is exactly what I wanted.
By the way, Rick and Morty coming back in like a week or two.
I got mixed feelings, primarily because I don't expect shit to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, we have a track record of how America runs, and so I'm not really particularly expecting of it. What I find interesting is the mathematics of it, right? I find it interesting how they decide they want to justify what they do, right? And you're exactly right about that. And what I'm saying to you is this, is that in order to be a liberal in America, you have to be perfect. Because if you have any human frailty, if you got side booty, if you sneezed and didn't cover your nose right, whatever it is, these motherfuckers.
I like that you just equated infidelity to being rude. That's dope. Nigga, that's all the same shit.
It is all human frailty in my mind. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that makes you not perfect, you can find out what it is. If you like flowers too much, they're going to call you soft for liking flowers. Out here, they are running ass because Gavin Newsom is too handsome. This is what they saying, dog. I'm not lying. It's this dude, some dude that they rented a bear. He rented a bear. And he puts Gavin Newsom's picture up and says, beauty And then he says, do you want beauty or do you want an honest beast? And then they have him walking with a goddamn bear. I ain't lying, man.
I
And
know. I saw the shit. I think John Oliver had that shit on, man. And the motherfucker had a rally where everybody kept asking questions about the bear, and he got mad. It's like, nigga, you brought a bear.
Oh,
no, like the press kept asking him questions about the bear. And he wanted
I thought the bear got mad.
Stop
asking me. Stop asking about me, motherfucker.
I'm a private bear, goddamn.
Keep my name out your mouth.
I'm just here to support him. Don't ask questions about me.
Instantly related to the bear. As soon as I saw the commercial, I was like, damn, bro, I feel for you to have to do this shit.
It's just
The bear Democrat, he just needed the gig.
Tim Ryan had this speech on the House floor, and it was obviously for his campaign or whatever, but he made this big argument where he was basically just like, for this to work, we got to be working in this, we got to be working in reality, and only one of these parties is living in it. And that's how I feel. But the problem is like they are in control of a lot of state legislatures. They did this recount in Arizona that is only gumming up the works. It's not gonna, like, the funny thing is
the ninja guys quit.
The cyber ninjas, that's run by a Trump supporter too.
Yeah, they quit.
Wait. Was it the cyber ninjas or one of their subsidiaries?
They were doing the audit for the
Well, the cyber ninjas quit too?
They didn't. The people who were doing the count for them quit, right?
The people who was working for them, but I don't think the whole site.
There are people involved who quit.
Okay,
but the company's still doing that. And now it's happening in Wisconsin. They set up a task force in Wisconsin that is going to be doing an audit there as well. This is the thing that they're pushing though, is because what they're trying to do is maintain a base. They're trying to maintain these crazy people that are Trump people, and that's why it's Marjorie Greene and Matt Gaetz running around doing this shit, and Paul Gosar, because those are the people that are living off of appealing to the Trump people that are still running around, and they're the ones who are fighting with the rest of the Republican Party, and it's so weird that this dude has still got a hold on these people after all this time. He's still got them locked up. Rob, what you laughing about, man?
I was just thinking that the only people he really trying to appeal to is the people who got guns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
people who are crazy enough to be maniacs, right?
Absolutely. So he don't really give a shit what any of us thinks.
No.
Because at the end of the day, he just gonna tell his little army, hey, they over at blah blah, go get them.
Have you been to his website? Because he can't tweet anymore, and he's not on any social media. He's just got like Donald Trump's just got like a blog and shit, and it's still just the same old crazy bullshit he was. He'd be yelling about MSNBC morning hosts and shit. That's the whole blog will be about Morning Joe. It'll be just a whole fucking rant about how shitty Morning Joe.
It's insane that he watches it.
But they can't.
Yeah, we agree on that. Fuck Joe Scarborough.
But they can't wait. They cannot wait to put this. Like, this dude may have to run again to stay out of jail. Do you understand? Like,
yeah.
They like the only way because his shit is now a criminal investigation. Yeah. So they're now looking for that criminal. But the only way this dude could stay out of prison is if he runs for it and wins the presidency.
So I was just peeping something last night that. I knew they had Weisselberg and Trump's accountant in a bind, but I didn't realize they had this motherfucker on the inaugural committee too, because not only was he the CFO of the inaugural committee, he also oversaw the audit. Which, if you don't understand what that means, that is basically like if you had to have you wrote the final and took the final and then graded the final. You were the teacher, the student, and gave yourself the grade.
Bobby, it's so much weirder than that. He should have pardoned as many people as he could pardon, but he couldn't, because once you pardon them, they could tell on you.
Right.
Because you ain't got no jeopardy anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's even worse that he can't run again for president, because they're gonna indict him for this year is over with. I think that's the race that's going on right now. The race that's going on right now. And, the Republicans keep doing dumb shit because, like, the whole point of this January 6th commission was to do something that was not partisan, right? That was, like, disconnected from, now it's set up where they can do something where Pelosi can just pick
whoever the fuck she wants.
No,
they can still get subpoena. They still get subpoena power. They can still subpoena people.
So here's the deal. I disagree. I think the Republicans played it in exact. They want the Democrats to do that, and here's why. Because when they do that type of committee, it's partisan.
They're just going to sell that. They're going to be like, they forgot about this other shit. Yeah. They're betting that they're betting that the American people are too dumb to recognize that.
Yeah.
But the crazy shit is like when you ask even Republicans, they're like, yeah, fucking audit it. Like, do the thing. Like we all like the people actually want to see it. It's just this again, Rob. It's the people with the guns. That want to fucking do it.
So I hope that whatever billionaire gets this data because he like jacks off on looking at the Porsche, yell at him. Hey, do this. Start running ads, showing the fucking riot on January 6th and running what the fucking Republicans are saying about it and playing that shit in Republican districts playing that shit on Fox News. Because hey, here's the thing, you can do that. You know how I know you can do that? Because I've seen Trump ads on MSNBC.
Yeah, you can get the money to do that shit for sure.
Get the money.
That's what America is. You can buy anything.
Yeah, you can buy anything. Run that shit and make those motherfuckers watch it.
In a weird change of events it was weird how like for the long. I remember being a kid and gas companies were everything, right? Like the oil companies. We used to talk about OPEC and like they secretly could like. We were kids when Carter was president. And we had to live through this situation. You remember the gas lines and the shortages and all that crazy shit. Front wheel drive cars came out of the gas shortages of the 70s. That's what happened. Is like they like that all happened through that. That was the big push into the change in how cars are made.
It's so funny because I am not a car guy like you are at all. I'm not really a car. I like cars, but I can't wait till these motherfuckers could drive themselves and I can, get high and fall asleep in the car. That's in the future, but whatever. My point is, with the point of you saying the front wheel drive came out of that, you just sparked a memory in my head of I remember people having discussions, like my uncles and shit, having discussions about how front wheel drive was bullshit because they were used to all their cars, I guess, being rear wheel.
Yeah, all cars were rear wheel drive for the most part. I mean, it was predominantly rear wheel drive cars, and then because of the gas shortage and the need to change where fuel tanks were and things like that, and the weight of the car and how much transmission shit like front wheel drive cars have taken over.
And that was a big deal because if you had children, you didn't have that hump in the middle.
Right.
The hump in the middle was what made women.
I remember that hump in women.
Yep.
Yep. Get that hump out of there. Now it's like you driving a marathon cab.
Yeah, of
course.
Know what I mean? Of course, now they're in trouble because electric cars are becoming more predominant. Volkswagen has a couple of electric models. Ford has now an SUV and their pickup truck, which basically just looks like. Here's the smartest thing they did with that truck is it. And I'm not a pickup truck guy at all because to me, if you want to talk about something that looks, if you want to talk about things that look the same, pickup trucks to me for the most part look very much alike. The bed of the pickup truck seems like the most, like, obviously it's for use from a use purpose, it's great, but like for me, I grew up in a high rise, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to ever have to be responsible for toting anybody's shit anywhere. I'm trying to effectively evade having to carry anybody's shit, so I've always just like whatever.
A pickup truck implies I want to help.
The smart thing they did is they made that thing look like it's just like I avoided getting a 4-door car for a long time when I was younger because I was like, and give people rides like
holy shit!
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so.
I'm honored to be your friend because apparently you are a choosy motherfucker. I wanted a car with as much space as possible for my crew. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to have everybody in this motherfucker. Because back in the day, for a minute, rolling deep was kind of cool until we started getting arrested.
Yeah, just one, man. Just one. We got room for one. And
hey, man, you can plug that thing up into your crib.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like the smartest thing they did with that truck is they made it look like a regular F-150. That's the smartest thing they did, because instead of trying to make it look like some space, like the people that buy them trucks, they are not looking for nothing space age. They're not trying to fly away in the truck. They just want that motherfucker to be able to carry some rocks and some fucking log some shit somewhere, honestly, and not fall apart.
And I'm not trying to speak for a group of people that I'm not part of, but from the people in that group that I know, the last thing that they want is to pull up and have a whole bunch of people talking about how funny they truck. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
Where are the lights at?
Yeah.
Well, how do you? They don't want that shit. They want the shit. They want to pull up and then have somebody happen, or they want to be able to say, "Hey, it's electric." No, it ain't. Yes, it is. 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's the conversation they want to have. They don't want people pointing it out. They want to have to tell them.
But the crazy thing that's happened, and what that's cost for the oil companies is Shell just was put on notice they have to half their emissions. So they got to cut that shit down. Exxon actually lost 2 seats on their board to activists, to actual climate change activists, and it's enough to create a whole bunch of crazy issues for them. They will definitely be changing their ways. Exxon better buy an electric company real soon. They better find out if Lucid Air needs some money, or Lordstown Motors or somebody.
Hey, stock tip for you. There's a company called Sun Power that's gonna explode.
Get into solar. Maybe they want to buy that.
So yeah, somebody's 100% going to buy Sun Power. They make the finest solar power energy fucking cells anywhere.
Yeah, and so their shareholders will be involved, and they actually got activists that are on there, which will bring about some changes to how they run their business, which is a huge deal. I think that's a great move. Another great move is Bernie Sanders trying to stop Jeff Bezos from getting a $10 billion bailout for his fucking spaceship.
That's 100% bullshit.
Like, who doesn't need a bailout?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, the man, the human man, Lex Luthor. I mean, no, man, you can't do that shit. Like, I think at some point Bezos is gonna be like, I'm just gonna buy like Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. All right, we're gonna call it the Northwest Purchase. These are mine now. I'm gonna start the Amazon states.
Hey, by the way, do you know Idaho is having a huge housing boom?
Oh yeah.
So like a massive one.
I was hoping this was a premise.
No, Boise is 100%. No, there is, because voting in Idaho, a guy named Peter Saltagero, comedian in Chicago, predicted because of COVID, a bunch of people learned to work remote. The remote people were like living in Northern California, where it's insanely fucking expensive to live.
Yep.
And they started moving to fucking Idaho, Boise, Idaho, which is a city, but it also is insanely like they could buy a pimp ass mansion.
Of course.
For what they were paying for like a $3 million house. In Boise, Idaho, it's a $700,000 house. They're literally buying houses sight unseen.
That's the fucking shit that's the shit that a lot of Hollywood stars did from the 80s. Like Demi Moore's got some ranch in fucking Montana or some shit. They've all got like ranches and shit off in these who the fuck would go even looking for anybody, even if you wanted to find them in Montana, right? Like if I if I lost a family member in Montana, I'd be like, you know what I mean? So like, of course, I'm not gonna go hunting down Demi Moore in Montana. Like if she gets to Montana before I get to Demi Moore, she gets to be in Montana. Those are the rules, right? Like,
hey, wait till you read the bit that me and Rob wrote about you going away to Montana.
But if you can work remotely, and of course if the price of shit is cheap, and if you can deal with. See, the other part about this, though, is I feel like this is the same thing about these comics that move to Austin, or these people that are moving to Nashville right now. Like, who ain't moving to fucking Idaho right now? Niggas. Niggas ain't moving to Idaho. That is not black people moving there. That's not what's happening. You can't convince me of it.
I agree with you. However, the people moving there are probably a lot more liberal than the people who live there now.
Possibly.
Like, this is one of the reasons why I watch shit like 60 Minutes. I don't even watch shit. I don't watch that shit necessarily for me. Yes, New OGs. I watch this shit because I want to see what white people mad about, right? And part of the thing on the show was it was people who lived already in Idaho being priced out of They're living in Idaho, so it was like white people getting gentrified by whiter
white
people.
people?
Yeah, by other white people. And it was oh my God, I came. It was so great. It was so fucking awesome. And like I feel like I can't even buy. We gonna looking to move into a nicer school district, and we can't find a place because these people are just buying the places sight unseen, paying cash, and we can't afford to do that.
Those are people gonna be arguing about white privilege in like 2 years.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Heavy white privilege? There's no white privilege. Like these same people already own a house whose value is going through the roof. Their house is probably triple what the fuck it was worth, and the reason why they're looking to buy a new house is because the house they live in is probably worth a lot more because somebody wants to buy it, and they're complaining that they can't afford to eat a dick.
I liked how that's a solution. The thing we were
the solution is eat a dick.
The thing we were talking about. The thing we were talking about was Bezos buying up all those states to just have them. And what's crazy is he's also buying MGM. He is Amazon is in the process of buying MGM Studios. They're in the process of purchasing them right now. There's a whole bunch of arguments over that.
Isn't it a monopoly?
Well, that's one of the issues that's going on there, right? Like the idea of like Amazon, which is an at-home streamer, buying an actual. They can't buy. I think Amazon can't buy they can't buy theaters. I think that's the issue. I think that's the problem that's going on.
But they don't need them. Your TV is their theater.
Well, right. Well, that's the whole issue is they can't corner the market on that. But it's an $8.45 million $8.45 billion buyout of MGM. There's some pushback against it though because obviously Amazon's got a lot of other issues going on with employment.
Yeah, that's great. I like the fact that the only thing I like about this deal is that part of the deal, MGM owns the rights to The Apprentice, and Jeff Bezos would have the outtakes from The Apprentice of Trump saying nigga and all kind of other shit.
You've now brought up the one bright spot of Jeff Bezos buying MGM.
I 100% think that's the only reason why he's doing it.
That's the only thing.
I believe it's the only reason why he wants the shit. He wants MGM so he can get that shit. He'd own whatever Mark Burnett Productions or whatever. And thank you. I tried to whisper off a mic. I don't know if that shit was coming through.
Dude, just yell at me if you want.
Like I have cotton mouth. I appreciate you so much, James. I ran out of water, and my mouth is a goddamn desert.
Obviously, people are upset about the idea of Amazon having so much, control. It also gets them the James Bond films. Gets them like almost the entire James Bond library.
Oh yeah. Which would be super dope.
One of the big concerns, obviously, about James, the people that own that, the Broccoli family, are real like tense about letting shit out. And with Amazon owning it, that means they may be able to start turning out like a series. Like they could just do a TV series, which is a possibility.
Oh my God, a James Bond series would be fucking dope.
The last thing Amazon needs to do is own MGM, but it's a pretty high reason to believe it's probably going to happen.
Here's why I'm going to disagree with that. If we're going to have Goliaths, if you're going to have King Kong, you got to have Godzilla. You got to have somebody to balance this nigga out. And Disney is a Goliath on one side. We need somebody with the same punching weight to fight against that motherfucker. And I think Amazon being that would be a good thing. Like you got to have some kind of competition. If it's just
NBC has got their own NBC is solid competition. Netflix is solid competition.
Is Netflix really competition for Disney? I think Disney's going to own Netflix eventually.
I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen. Netflix is still
Netflix or Amazon is going to own.
I just want to go back a couple of things that you said that are going to change America.
Yeah,
that little truck is a big deal. Rachel Maddow even talked about the truck.
That's the number one selling truck.
Huge.
That's the number one selling vehicle in America for like 40 fucking years or some shit like that.
And that being the case, it's not the fact that how it looks, but it was a great idea to make it that way. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Right.
It's the fact of the shit that you could do that'll make you money in that truck.
Yeah.
It's shit you could do in that truck that you cannot do with a gasoline engine because you got to worry about the transfer of power from the engine to the wheels. You ain't got to do that with electric. It goes straight to the goddamn wheels.
Right.
And so now you got way more, exponentially more strength in the automobile than you had before.
They show that shit towed like 1.2 million tons.
It was a million.
Yeah. Or was it 1.2 million pounds?
No,
not
it's
tons.
1 million pounds, and it was 40 of those trucks in a train, and they put the little Asian lady who made up the whole thing. She got in there and was like driving that thing like a gangster. Like, yeah, I can feel the little. Wait, something behind me, but it ain't hurt.
Here's the thing: I didn't even realize how gangster that was until you said it. Because usually when you see some shit like that, you see a motherfucker in there that's like, you know, like
the battery. The battery for that truck is, I think, 1,800 pounds.
Holy shit!
That's the size. That's
so that's all this.
That's like, about half the weight of a Nissan 300Z is probably like 3,000 pounds, 3,100 pounds, something like that.
That's more than half. Yeah.
So it's like more than half of the weight of like a
70,
sports car,
65%.
essentially. You know, that's a yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
and dude, that's why I meant. Look, she was driving it like she was driving from the grocery store.
right.
Yeah. That was. Now you say that was super dope.
They're trying to show you not only who created it that they want credit to give to, but that she can handle it.
Right.
Like anybody could drive this thing.
Right.
And you could plug it into your crib. Do you understand? Like you could just like if the lights go out, like in Texas, you could plug in your ride and boom, there you go, your lights back on.
Yeah, produce enough power to power your house. Yeah.
Bobby, if you
sir.
get one of those trucks, wouldn't it be great to have solar panels on your house?
Yeah, it would obviously be another way to send power back to the grid and be able to offset that usage. Yep.
Also, basically, your truck fuel would be free.
Yes. Your fuel for your truck would be paid for by your solar panels, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Imagine the idea of the sun being able to fuel your car is essentially what's
basically
happening.
you would have zero fuel costs. I know there's plenty of places you could charge for free, but that's just going to change when everybody has to charge their car. They're going to start charging your ass for that shit. Trust me, being able to charge
by the watt for sure.
Yeah, being able to charge at home for free because your solar panels are covering the wattage that you use in your home will be a fucking major difference. I'm sorry for throwing a commercial in the middle of this shit.
It's always better to cook at home, baby.
Motherfuckers should know like this is where the game is going. I'm trying to play chess with you niggas. Stop playing checkers.
And that's the
I'm trying to make
point.
money too.
This is just the first thing they put out.
Right.
They got a bunch of other stuff that they're about to put out that's going to run the same way.
Yeah.
Oil is over.
Yeah, it's over for oil.
If you ain't buying Vaseline, then that's pretty much gonna be
Also, you know what? I just realized I was worried about this, but I just realized that Joe Biden's plan has to go through, because if Ford is making the number one truck 100% electric, you have to put up electric stations. The plan that calls for that, you have to have those stations, and that's a humongous infrastructure undertaking to have to go through. Plus, plus they're going to have money in it to incentivize people to go ahead and make the switch to electric. I mean, the dope ass truck is going to do it anyway, but there's still going to be people going to need a nudge. So there's going to become a discount probably.
It's like fighting climate change. Like Republicans will notice there's no arguments right now over whether climate change is real. There's no arguments about it at all. It's just like, how slowly do we want to put any money into it? Yeah. That's exactly the fight that's going on.
Because he's on the right people to position themselves to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's all that's happening.
Even in this, to all of that, man. Not only is it but they're putting them everywhere out here in LA. Yeah. I'm saying I'm at the hospital, and the best parking spaces are now all electric.
Yep. Even the pregnant lady's got to park further away. Like you
pregnant and you not trying to save the environment. What the fuck is you doing? Yeah, you bring the kid into this world.
The order of good people, or the people that are deserving at parking lots right now, is like people who want to care about the environment. People gonna be in the store for 10 minutes. Pregnant ladies.
Wait,
the rest of y'all niggas.
Handicap.
Oh yeah,
pregnant ladies.
Oh, yeah, handicap. Yeah. It's like save the environment. Handicap. 10-minute Parker. Pregnant lady. That's it. If you pick it up at the curb, they'll let you.
Hey, dude, this is the crazy thing, man. I went to Target, and the handicap space was electric.
That's a double one. You got to be down for the environment, and you got to have shifty legs. Otherwise, you can't park at the motherfucker.
Woo!
Otherwise, you can't park there.
Legs. Hey, man, I'm asking for James a lot, but we back in the studio, so we're gonna have some cool shit happen. I want a button and a thing that comes on the screen that says canceled.
That's not to be canceled.
Every time one of us says something that's mildly shifty.
Yeah, you ain't finna do this shit to me.
That'll be the next lockdown.
Here, I'm gonna give you my Oh yeah, that sounds great here. I'm gonna.
Oh God, we can hear it now. Yeah, we couldn't hear it. But inside baseball, guys, when we pressed that lockdown thing, if it looked like we could hear it, we were, boom, we were play acting.
I would
baby.
sometimes hear the bass at the very end. That was, I mean, I'll start writing fake apologies like John Cena. That'll be my move. John Cena had to apologize. He fuck around and called Taiwan a country like a crazy person. A self-governing place like Taiwan. He fucked around and called them a country. And so he had to make this apology. He did this crazy video where I'm going to read this. He goes, "I made a mistake. I must say right now, it's so important. I love and respect Chinese people." He goes, "I'm very sorry for my mistakes. Sorry. I'm really sorry." Like, even that even sounds like he's making fun of Chinese people. Like, sorry. He goes,
Whoa.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Canceled.
You have to understand that I love and respect China and Chinese people. That was his, that's the whole, he never said anything about, like, my bad on that. He didn't even say Taiwan.
He didn't take Taiwan back. He didn't take Taiwan back.
He didn't say shit. But like, this is a crazy thing. This was also like with the Friends reunion, where there are a couple people like Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga and somebody else are not going to be in the Chinese version of the Friends reunion because Lady Gaga met with the Dalai Lama and which is Tibetan, Tibetan, which is like that's some other shit they don't fuck with. They just like they got all these weird rules, and like China has got such a grip on being able to make international overseas money that all these cats just you either play along or you're just like
I forgot. I think Zootopia, which he was like the co-star or the star of, made like $200 million in China.
Gotta get that China money, dog.
Yeah, it made $200 million in
or
China.
Or you'd have morals and be like, hey, listen, if I got to make a little less, but we don't.
No, man.
China.
If you made $200 million in China, like that nigga bought a boat or something with that money because I'm sure he's getting like points. I'm sure you get points, so like you don't want to lose.
You know
that
what
money.
you do? You make that money off of China and you feed some of it to Taiwan underneath the table. You feed it back.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Wow,
that's my favorite picture from all of this, dude.
Wow,
I love that
that's
so much.
crazy.
Well, I will tell you this, guys. When I was in the military, in the first 2 weeks, you don't get a newspaper. You don't know anything. All you know is what they tell you. And what they told us one day in the chow hall, we in line getting ready to eat, and they say, "Okay, privates, your training will be accelerated because we got to go fight China. And it ain't enough bullets in America to shoot all the Chinese."
Holy
y'all
fuck.
gonna have to learn how to fight more than one person at a time.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Right. So what I'm saying is John Cena's a tough guy, but he's thinking there's too many Chinese for me to have to beat up.
Well, at least racism isn't systemic. You know what I mean? It's not. At least it's not built in the thing. Speaking of some weird systemic racism, Alabama is allowing yoga in schools for the first time in 28 years.
But you
That
can't
shit is
say
insane. That shit is insane. These niggas was scared that a motherfucker was gonna get enlightened.
You can't meditate.
Like,
You're
think
not
about
allowed.
that.
You're not allowed to meditate. You're not allowed to say namaste, which is basically I bow to you or peace be with you. That's all that means.
They are afraid that people will become enlightened. That's what they're afraid of.
Chanting, mantras, mudras, use of mandalas, induction of hypnotic states, guided imagery, and namaste greetings shall all be expressly prohibited when doing yoga. You must use English words for all the.
This is just in school, right? This
Were
is
you
not
saying,
like
Rob?
random
Yeah,
Alabama.
no, this is
like if you okay,
It's in
I was
school.
about to say, does Tina Turner not play?
No.
Anywhere Alabama?
What were you saying, Rob?
They said this lady testified in the hearing that a young man was clearly high while he was meditating.
Yeah, that's the point.
Like you could see him visibly change. And I'm thinking, because he was fucking happy. You so happy this and didn't know how to handle it.
You witnessed joy and got angry about it.
What's funny is if you want to be a Christian in Alabama and start speaking in tongues in the middle of a church, that shit would fly all day, right?
And playing with goddamn snakes.
Yeah,
you can goddamn snakes.
It's just so here's the thing. Here's the reason why this is an issue, because Christianity is an evangelical religion. This is unlike other religions, and that is evangelical. The Jewish people are not trying to get anybody to become Jewish. In fact, they make the process to become Jewish a bit of an ordeal. You know what I mean?
Turn you down twice.
Like Muslims do not. They're like they'll happily accept someone who wants to accept the Muslim, but they're not out there being like, you know. Well, in some places they're like, y'all got to become Muslims.
some
people are
bitch.
Yeah,
some people say they are pretty sharp about it.
Yeah, they're very specific about it in some places, but in other places they're not. But like, but they're not. You know, the evangelical thing is a very Christian thing. Hinduism, they are not trying. Like the goal of yoga is not to try and turn you into a Hindu. That is not.
The goal of yoga is to try to have sex with your female students.
What? Only the hot yoga nigga did that shit.
All of the hot yoga niggas did that shit, not just him.
No, but the main hot yoga did.
Oh yeah, and all of it, like, it was a fucking thing. That, like,
That's what makes the yoga hot.
Hey
Warm it up
man,
with that
look,
shit, man.
you made a whole room funky just so you could get with some bitches. That is corny, man. Damn, you could have just did the regular yoga for that.
You could have just gone to the club, dog. You could just you just got up with somebody who was
The
dancing.
whole room funky. Everybody in there sweating and doing yoga. That's disgusting.
There's in some movie shit that's going on. You guys remember Aaron Taylor Johnson? He was he was the first Quicksilver in the
dope.
in
Yeah,
Ultron.
yeah.
He was Kick-Ass. He was the dude Kick-Ass. He's gonna be playing Kraven in Kraven the Hunter in a solo
dope.
solo movie for Sony. My only concern is it's for Sony.
They're gonna fuck it up.
But they got some the writers on it are pretty dope. I forget who the writers are on it, but there's some dudes who've written some good shit, which hopefully it's so for me, again, this is an OG moment, but for me as a kid, I remember being, I don't know what it was. I was maybe 10 when it came out, but there was the death of Spider-Man. It was a comic book series, and it was when Spider-Man died, Kraven the Hunter shoots him. Not the spoiler alert, but this is 30 years old. But Kraven the Hunter shoots Spider-Man and buries him. He didn't actually, spoiler, he didn't actually kill him. He put him on some like slow down as whatever it was some weird. But then Kraven the Hunter took Spider-Man's identity. He went out and started being like it was during the black suit years where he took his identity and was going out and was just fucking people up as in Spider-Man's place. It was dope. It's some of the greatest like artistry ever. And so I've been waiting for them to get Kraven into this. And Aaron Taylor Johnson is fucking dope. So that will be exciting. Some more shit that Rob will have to catch up on. Facebook and Instagram are putting out something where you can actually hide your like count for those people who are insecure. They are realizing that it's causing some issues for people mentally as far as being able to like feel good about themselves.
When hiding them gonna make you a punk.
Yeah, so they're offering you the option now. If you wanna hide your Facebook like count or your Instagram like count.
I know, right?
If you want to be famous, you can't do this because for sure people are still gonna be like, you gotta show your like count so we can see who the fuck is liking your shit. That's still gonna be the requirement for the gig if you're trying to be in entertainment some way. But if you're just a regular person who wants to post shit and not feel bad about it. You know what I mean? Not feel bad about how few people are actually paying attention to you.
Hey, Bobby, speaking of entertainment, X has something he wanted us to talk about. I just want to get a nice little...
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about the Leslie Jones shit?
The Leslie Jones shit?
Yeah.
So, okay. Hey, man, nobody... Okay, anyway. I'm not... That was not a... Okay. See, this is why we let Bobby do the segues. This is why if for those of you at home, y'all see us be praising Bobby about the segues because and you think like, oh, that's some simple shit. Anybody can do that. Now you just saw I basically just twisted a comedy ankle right here because I got like this is the equivalent of seeing somebody.
Actually, gonna be day to day after this. He's gonna be
seeing somebody pop an ankle in the middle of a basketball game. You're like, oh, hold up, I need a
got a flat tire. It's
yeah. So shout out to my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend Lo, shout out.
She has me watching like some comedy shit that I would normally peep. And
in other words, some shit you thought was corny.
No, well, yeah.
I thought it was corny, and then I watched it. And I was like,
I'm even though I'm on here and I talk crazy and shit like that, I don't like drama. Like, I try to avoid. Like, I usually hear about this shit going on secondhand,
right?
Like a week after it happened.
Right.
Like, oh, you didn't know this? This was what everybody was talking about last week. I was like, I saw those posts, I ignored them. Thanks for catching me up. Okay, cool. But anyway, Leslie Jones of SNL fame and her own shit. was accused of stealing a joke of this female comedian named Precious out of Atlanta. And Precious is a very funny comedian.
Based on the book Pushed by Sapphire.
God damn it.
And Precious got very, very upset because she has a joke where she has she wears a t-shirt that says WW.
She's got a punchline.
DD,
right?
Punchline. What that dick do? What would that dick do?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Dick do?
What that dick? Yeah, what
Yeah.
that dick do? Which is what I've heard at a number of parties I went to from.
What that dick? I'm pretty sure that was like one of the things that made me realize I was in love with my girl. She asked me that question, and I was like, "Here." No, anyway, allow me to show you. But anyway, my point is this. Yeah. So it's not like her punchline, her catchphrase is not like an uncommon phrase thing that people say, and I don't think she created it.
Right.
Or whatever. But anyway.
No, I've been hearing that shit forever. is what I'm saying.
She has a whole thing. She's a joke. Apparently, she's also been doing for 7 years, which I don't know. Go with that wherever you want to. But Leslie Jones said it on MTV as something, and she said it as a one-off. It was like a one-off in the
Like
middle.
a tag.
A tag. Yeah, actually, it was like a tag.
In comedy
Some other shit.
parlance.
Riding and surfing, unmatched. I don't care about your activities. What do your dick do?
Did she pay for that?
Yeah, that's not really.
Also, she says it like the thing is what that dick do. She said, "What do your dick do?"
She drive a real nice car. Who give a fuck? What that dick do, nigga?
That is, I'm gonna be honest. All right, here's the thing: is that like, we talked about this briefly before the show. I have a thing. It's about my dad where I end my sets by saying "That's what's up." It's an old thing my dad used to say when he was making a big point. It was never a super original thing, but it was just a thing my dad said. So I end my sets like that. It's a common line, right? Saying "That's what's up" is a common thing, right? You make a point, "That's what's up." It's like if I saw, I don't know, Craig Robinson on stage or somebody, not even that, because I know Craig Robinson. If I saw somebody who I'd never met, if Jeff Foxworthy, Jeff Foxworthy group goes back out on the road, or Dan Cook somewhere, and he goes, "That's what's up." Like, I wouldn't assume he stole a joke from me. I would assume that my generic ass thing that I say is so generic that anybody could potentially say that at some point it would not be that. And that is what I feel about that line, because I've been hearing it before. Before I even heard about this chick Precious, that's a line that like is not surprising to me as a line.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, not only is that a super common line, I watched the woman, the female comic. Apparently, she's very, very good. I'm not trying to shit on her. I don't know her.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with if she's good or not.
There were people standing up for her and stuff like that. But the way she goes so hard about this fucking phrase, I was like, I thought like maybe she had opened for Leslie Jones before, and somehow they had come across like that Leslie Jones would have been in a place where maybe Leslie Jones judged a competition or some shit like that, somewhere where she would have seen the joke. Leslie Jones had no way, like
she's never met her before. She has
never
no
met
idea
her
who
before,
she is.
And this, like, the girl is the woman is nice. I'm not shitting on her, but like I'd never heard of her before this, and
right.
You know, I'm sure she's never heard of me, so you know you can throw that back or whatever. but I'd never heard of her before this, so like if I said what that dick do, was I stealing her shit? Like I had never heard that shit from her before this. I'd never heard of it, but like what that dick do sounds like. I mean,
it's such a weird comedy thing because IP is to me so much larger than that single line. You know what I mean? Like a joke is one thing, right? Your premise, your setup, your punchline. You know, you got a bit that's a few minutes long. You see somebody like dip a whole bunch of shit out of it. That's one thing, right? But like a line, a tagline at best, like that's a common phrase I've heard at parties throughout my entire life.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to me is I think this is the best thing to ever happen to her. Like
she's trying to ride it.
If it were me and I were Leslie Jones, I would call her up like, "Hey, do you want this to be a beef? So we could just push you up a little more, make it act like we don't like each other. This could be like a rap beat. And I'll be like, fuck you and your joke. And then you can be like, no, bitch, and we can just push you up and we can make some more money together. Like I can put you in a position to make more money. But I actually think that the line is not something that you could claim. So like Dig, I do a joke about working in jail. And it's this lady that I used to work with that does a joke about working in jail. And one thing that we all had to wear was you had to have a black pen, a red pen, and a flashlight. That's part of what you have to have as a uniform in the jail. So if she would say exactly that, and I say something very similar to that because I had to carry the shit around myself. And it wasn't a nice flashlight that you could defend yourself with. It's a very small flashlight because they didn't want the inmates to be intimidated, right? That was the reason that they told you. So to me, if you say what that Dig do, that just seemed like something that, that's like saying hello. Like, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's very basic. It's very basic shit. Couple more notes before we get out of here. Here's something that'll take you back a little bit. If you guys remember Garbage Pail Kids, which I know we do. Yeah. I don't know, James. Do you remember Garbage Pail Kids? Do you know about that?
I had a couple of those cards.
Yeah, I used to collect those things like crazy when I was a kid for no reason other than I had friends.
I never liked them. I always thought they were gross.
That was the whole idea. No. They were supposed to be gross.
They're too gross.
He's a fucking Kareem. That's because you a Kareem. That's why you.
A Kareem moment.
But they are actually coming out with a new.
I have nothing to do with it.
They're coming out with a new animated series that's going to be on HBO Max. It's backed by Danny McBride, so it's probably going to be some wild ass shit. That is a version I'm looking for. There was a 1987 movie and animated series, but it's not going to be anything like you're going to get from Danny McBride. There's going
to be so many motherfuckers
HBO Max. This is going to be a fucking
Craig
problem.
Robinson's going to get some work out of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to be great. The Garbage Pail Kids was supposed to be like a. It was purposefully to make fun of Cabbage Patch Kids. That was They made them to be like disgusting on purpose because Cabbage Patch Kids were such an adorable thing, and so they made them on purpose.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I'm not just saying this because of bit. I was in Aldi's the other day, and they had like some knockoff Cabbage Patch Kids, and they were literally called like. It wasn't lettuce kids, but it was some shit close to that. Like asparagus.
Lettuce field children.
Asparagus children. Or some shit like
lettuce
that.
Field children.
I wish I would have taken a picture of it, but the shit fucked me up. Because I looked at it.
Of the kale.
Because this is what fucked me up. I looked at it, and it looked like a Cabbage Patch doll for a second. And I was like, damn, Cabbage Patch dolls have fallen all the way down to Aldi's. Like, I thought that shit was still collectible. Like, you get the motherfuckers at Aldi's now. That's how far they falling. And then I read the name on it, and it fucked me up. Man, if anybody out there,
it's like buying one of those superhero toys from Five Below, and it's just like anger guy, and it's just like a green.
This is somebody who buying a toy for their child
with a soft ass face. You know what I mean? No, that's when you buy a toy for somebody else's child. You gotta
that's
go to
how kids get
birthday.
kidnapped.
You gotta go to somebody's birthday, and you don't want to fucking get him the real shit, and you're like, no, we gonna get him the fucking cornfield baby. That's what we gonna get him.
You don't need the real kid. You don't know the difference. Here, take this little knockoff kid that costs $30.
I wish I had learned this. I mean, now I'm too fucking OG to do this shit to be this cheap, but I wish I knew this when I was younger. I saw somebody post some shit on the show called You're the Worst, where they went to a wedding and they figured out which gift was like the coolest, and they switched the name tag and made it to be from them.
That's a fly shit.
I was like, oh God, I wish I would have known this shit. I didn't come in there with like a $10 ass gift. Swap that shit out.
Last thing I want to talk about, the NBA playoffs are going on right now. They are fucking super entertaining. The play-in,
they are.
The play-in shit was dope. The games have been dope. The fans have been dog shit. There's been they finally let fans back in the stadium, and it took 1 week of playoffs to get 3 people banned for life from the stadiums that they were going to. Russell Westbrook was playing in Philadelphia. He got hurt. He's leaving the court injured. Now, Philadelphia is a place that threw batteries at Santa Claus at one point. So just so we get an idea of who Philadelphia is, they cheered when Michael Irvin fucked his neck up on the center turf. They cheered when a Chicago Bear blew his knees out on their center turf. These are not awesome people, but this dude poured popcorn down the fucking awning onto Russell Westbrook as he was leaving with an injury to his ankle. Yeah. And just the idea of having somebody purposefully pour popcorn on you is some crazy ass bullshit.
Here's the thing that's interesting.
Hold on, that's not it though. In New York, Trae Young was playing, and New York has been known to not be great either. Definitely some racial slurs said about him in New York. And then also John Morant in Utah, which, of course, Utah. Yeah. Can't bring black people to Utah without some problems probably jumping off. John Morant's family was in the crowd, and people were making racist remarks about John Morant's mother and a couple other things going on.
The Knicks organization
all of them have been banned for life.
Sent out had a piece of paper very similar to our liner notes, our show notes here, that said, what's his name? Trae Young. Trae Young is balding.
Right.
Balding.
Yeah. Just like tips on the type of shit you can yell at somebody to like truly be.
Like fuck with him, he's balding. Like that was the Knicks organization that did
John
that shit.
Collins ain't seen his daddy in 20 years.
Yeah, that's some real classless shit from the organization. What the fuck?
There's some shit you can yell
everybody can see that shit. Like, why you telling people to yell that shit? But the thing I want to get back to about, like, I know a lot of players have to deal with this shit, but particular, the thing with Russell Westbrook that bothers me is Russell Westbrook don't fuck with nobody, man. Like, it's not like Russell Westbrook is the type of dude that be purposely going after people. He even tries to, like
they don't give a fuck, man. Philadelphia, dog.
No, but Philadelphia
this
is like the third or fourth time Russell Westbrook's had some shit happen to him, and I think people pick on him specifically.
Trae Young actually had the ability to file charges. I think somebody tried to spit on him when he was on the sideline. That's the person who got banned. The person who tried to spit on him.
All of them got banned.
But the dude in Philly and the people in Utah got banned too. But in New York, Trae Young got spit on apparently by somebody, and he had the opportunity to press charges. And ACAB homeboy was like, "Nah, we good. Just ban this nigga for life. We all good. Just don't let him come back no more." You know what I mean?
Hey, but here's the thing, man. Like,
if it would have been me, I'd have been like, "Yeah, I want to make a notation at least."
Yeah, right. X, where you gonna be at this week, man? You got shit going on? Where you at?
Damn, man, I do, and I'm fucking it up. I'm gonna be someplace cool. Hey, we're gonna be at Funnier by the Lake on June 18th.
Yeah, we'll be doing the show on Friday, and then we're going to Funnier by the Lake. Where can people find you to get that information?
At XL Comedy on all of the platforms, and on the sticks if you want to get your ass kicked at 2K or MLB 21.
Rob, what you got going on, man? Anything wild? You doing anything?
Robert L. Hines on all social media. We are coming back to Chicago for a couple of dates. We're still putting them together. Duran and I are coming to Chicago.
July 1st.
July 1st? You'll be back in town July 1st?
Comedy Shrine, baby.
Yeah.
All of us.
Robert _
the whole crew.
Robert _L _Hines on all the social media. You can find me at Mocha _Jesus on Twitter and Instagram for all my great show dates and shit coming up. You can find the podcast at New OGs Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Get over to People of Comedy at People of Comedy Network and People of Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. I got those in the right order, I think. And then find all the great podcasts they have. Last but not least, don't be a jag-off.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, go over to Chicago to a T and check out their great shit over there. Don't be a jag-off. We'll catch you next week. That's what's up.
I am.
Mozzarella, palmas on cheese. Say you ballin', but not in my league. Say you ballin', but not in my league. Yeah, whole lot of niggas changed since we came up. They could try to steal the moves, but they ain't.